Good morning. This is going to be my first morning edit with Amy in which my children are quiet, so I have time to do this, but I didn't have time to prepare appearance-wise, so, we're going to make this a thing. Everybody wants to know how I make these big-headed pictures, and I'm going to link to some tutorials in the box below that will show you from other people because they do a really great job, and I always learn something from watching everybody else do things, and I also learned by trying them and screwing up and then learning more. And so if you see anything you think I'm doing wrong in this, please feel free to leave me a comment below and tell me, and please check out these other channels and tutorials. I'll probably try to link to some other accounts on Instagram of artists that I really enjoy that pretty much inspired this idea. And this is just my way of doing it. I'm not saying it's the only way. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm just saying this is how I did it, using a little bit from things I learned everywhere else. This image was already edited by me. I took it about a year ago probably, and my idea was I wanted to give her the big eyes. I wanted it to look like a oil painting. It was intentionally done to have the big eye effect. I think it could have gone way farther in that direction and it would have been more effective. And then yesterday I was looking through some photos and I thought, wonder what this would look like with a big cartoonish head, because it's such a serious picture. It's very mellow. And so just being me, I thought, I wonder what it would look like if we contrasted that with like a cartoony look. You know what I mean? I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, so when I did it, it was way easier because this was already complete. The last time I did one of these, it took a good hour to 2 hours, and then I came back the next day because I had to do a lot of adjusting to the background, and then I had to edit the whole photo and then fix the head. And so this is a lot faster, and so far this is the fastest way I've found to enlarge a head to do like the caricature look. And so let's do it, because I still haven't shut up and I'm 2 minutes in, and I said I was going to make a 5-minute video, and so here we go. All right, some quick things. We are on our background layer right here. We want to duplicate that. We're going to hit Command J. If you have a different computer, you might need to hit Control J. I keep calling it a Mac, but it's not a Mac because a Mac is an Apple, and so I don't know. If you don't have an Apple product computer, you have to hit Control. You're going to hear me say Command. If I forget to fix that, just know that if you're not on an Apple computer, you need to hit Control instead of Command. Okay, so we hit Command or Control J, we duplicated our layer. Now what I'm going to do is come over here and get the lasso tool, and I'm going to lasso as close as I can around her head. You could use a rectangle, but you just have to mask off a lot more if you do that. And so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to just lasso around her head. You don't have to make it perfect. And then when I come down, I'm going to include the neck because I might adjust that neck in the top of the collar. I want to have that ability to make that adjustment if I want it after I make it bigger. So now we've got just her head, her neck, and a little bit of her collar. Now I'm going to hit Command T. Don't forget, you might need to hit Control or Command T. Now I can free transform this. If you just grab it by a corner and you start going up and down, it doesn't look right. So to combat that, you're going to hold down the Shift key while you pull on one of the corners, and it's going to keep all your proportions correct. See how I did that? And now everything's staying the same except for her head. So I'm going to move it down where I think I might want it. And to do this, I might come over here and lower my opacity. And that way I can kind of see through it. So I can choose where I want to put that. I'm going to leave it right there for now. I'm going to hit my opacity all the way back up. And we're going to see what that looks like, and if we need to, we can always come back in and move that again if we have to. So now I've hit that. I'm going to hit my check mark up here. That's going to put it in place. I'm going to click my layer and make a mask on it. You make a mask by hitting that little rectangle that has a circle in it. If you look at the mask, it's a black mask, but where I cut her out, it's white. That means if I want to refine these edges around here, I need to get my soft brush. You can use a hard brush, but then just trust me and use a soft one. Use a soft black brush and paint around these edges, and that's going to put that background that was originally there back. Just think about it that way. It's way simpler to think of it that way than anything else. So starting at the easiest points to adjust, we're going to start around the top because this is a baby dreams backdrop. and it's super easy to edit. I'll put a link to that below too if I remember, but if I don't, just Google Baby Dreams backdrops, and I have found that these are the easiest backdrops. They're fabric, and they are super easy to wash, to care for, and to edit. You can kind of see there's some texture on this photo that I used when I originally edited it. I cannot remember where that texture came from, but I can tell you for sure that it was free wherever I got it from, because Mama not rich. That's why she's making YouTube videos. Okay, so if you look, I have pretty much put most of that background on. I did not touch her actual head because I wanted that to stay where it was. Because if I went over this, I would be removing the enlargement, right? So here's where you have to be more careful, is around the neck and the collar and then this little tail. I've edited this 3 times. I like removing the tail and making the tail the original color. The original size. Look at me staring at myself instead of this is the first time. Anyway, so what we're going to do is keep your black brush and we're going to remove that, and then we'll refine it after we get it where we want it. And I like making the neck smaller again also. I don't like the big neck. I might be a redneck, but I don't need the big neck. Okay, I hope that wasn't it. I mean, I am from Kentucky. I grew up in a town of like 100 or less people, so I wasn't trying to offend anybody. Or anybody of any other descent that might, oh my God, we live in a society where I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I should probably just not speak. But anyway, I didn't mean anything by saying redneck, y'all. Okay, so anyway, just to be clear, I'm trying to cover my butt here. Okay, so we took the tail back to the original size. See how that looks better? It kind of flows better. We've got her original neck. We've left the original collar. We're being careful. Now, take your zoom in, and now we need to come back up here, and we need to switch our brush to white. And then we're going to paint that chin back in where we need it. And this is where it kind of becomes a pain in the butt, trying to make sure it's perfect. But you will thank me for encouraging you to take the time to do this later. Taking the time to refine these edges is everything. I'm serious. It really does make the biggest difference. And see, I'm kind of using the shadow from where I made her head bigger to just kind of burn that back on her neck. Because think about it, if her head really was this enormous in real life, she would have shadows on her neck because the light source is coming from this direction. So taking the time to add that shadow back in right there just gives it a little bit more pop of realism. It's just taking the minute to think about those types of things instead of just being like, oh, I'm going to give this a big cartoony head and then not caring about the actual details of it. Let me zoom out now. So we're going to zoom back out and zoom back out and one more time. Okay. Oh, look at that. It looks good. All right. So I don't see any flaws here. The neck's smooth. This is smooth. We're going to add a little shadow here. I would come back up here normally and just extra detail that just to make sure it was perfect because I did kind of go over, but it's not that bad. So for tutorial speed purposes, we are good. Flatten that down. Come back up here. You're going to make a curves layer. This is the RGB channel, red, green, blue, because if you pull this down, you can adjust your reds, your greens, or your blues, but we want to do all of them. So we're going to be on the RGB. We're going to pull that down in the middle. See how that brings down everything in your thing? In your thing. I'm just not very well spoken today. You got a white layer mask, right? So we don't want that white because we don't want it to cover the whole photo. We only want it to cover part of the photo. So we're going to invert that to black. So you need your white brush instead. White soft brush. And we're going to add a little bit more shadow down here just add some shadows around some edges. I'm going to bring this down her cheek a little bit. I'm going to bring this around her back also because I just want to. And then maybe just a little around the top because I do want to alter it just a teensy bit from what we were. Just want to tell a story. What I'm doing is telling a story, and I want the story to be that this little pilgrim girl has a big old head. Now I'm going to bring a little bit of that off there because I feel like I went a little overboard. make sure that's not there, and then paint that back off, and I am happy with those adjustments. Flatten that down again, or merge. You can merge or flatten, it doesn't really matter. Duplicate one more time, come up to camera raw. And I want to change the tones in here. I made this originally warm. I want this one to look different. So I'm going to go to split toning. I'm going to bring my hue over into like a bluish color, and I'm going to bring that over to about, we'll do about 12. See how doing that made all the shadows bluer. So now we're going to go to our highlights, and we're going to bring that over to blue too, because I want her skin to go real pale. That's my idea here. I'm wanting her to go very pale. So I'm going to bring my highlights over too. See how that just sucked all the color out of her skin, but it left the reds and the yellows that I had added those in because I was going for a sickly kid the first time. Now I'm going for an even more sickly. So now we have pulled that down, and I'm going to darken it all just a teensy little bit. And then we're going to go over here to our saturation, and I'm going to pull my reds up just a teensy bit. I'm going to go to my luminance, and I'm going to bring those reds down a little bit. I might come into my blues, and let's just see what happens if I increase them. Decrease, increase. I don't like that because, see, that's giving me some chromatic abrasion on her eye, and I don't like it. But it's not very bad otherwise, so. Okay, so then we're going to come over here. We're going to take our texture, and we're going to increase it. When you increase your texture, you are adding detail. If you take this the other way, you're removing detail, so you're getting that soft look, and that's this is my favorite tool in Lightroom and Photoshop is the texture tool. I prefer to use it in Photoshop because I could, if I wanted to, I could drag this down. I've given this like a super soft look everywhere. So all I have to do is then add a mask and paint that back off. And I have really quickly smoothed out skin and everything. That doesn't always work though. So just knowing though that you can do that is a really good tip to have. So I increased my texture, which increased my details, which made her look harsher, and that's great and all, but I didn't want to do that too much, so now I'm going to come to my luminance and bump that to about 10 also. And that's just going to help balance out. Okay, so then you can hit this little back and forth toggle, and we are warm, and now we're dark, and we're warm, and now we're dark, and I prefer this color, so this looks cool. Hit OK. Come over here, go to your exposure panel. We're going to bump our offset up to, not that much, we're going to go to about let's see, where do I want to take that? I usually go to, I think that's too much, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit my white layer mask. I've got a black brush. I'm going to pop this back off of her face and her head just a teensy bit. And now I'm going to lower the opacity of that because I think that's way too harsh. And this is just the fastest way to combat that. And you can hit the eyeball and see what happens when you turn it off. And so by taking that back off of her face, it helps matte out the whole picture. So when you look at it, it kind of draws you into her face, which is the story we're telling. And that's that. That's how it looks. So let's show you back and forth real quick. We started with this beautiful little pensive, sad, sickly, crying pilgrim girl. And then we turned her into this. We started here, which is really cool as it is. I intentionally made her eyes bigger there. I didn't do like that on accident. I did that on purpose. And then I increased her head and did that on purpose too. So it was that fast. I did the video, the talking, the yakking, and everything less than 10 minutes. All we did was use a lasso tool, some layer masks, and then we went in and adjusted some things. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and check out the other ones that I linked below, and keep practicing, keep exploring. Be brave, invest your time if this is what you love to do, and you can literally make magic right in Photoshop. All right, thank you very much. And